Next is draft allowance. So this draft allowance is given for the non-expendable patterns. Draft allowance is used for draft means taper, vertical taper. Tapering of vertical dimensions in a casting is called draft. Tapering of vertical dimensions of casting is called draft. For example, this is a mold, and in this, suppose this is a casting pattern. So this is sand mold, for example, sand mold, and in this we have kept one wooden pattern. Mold, and this is wooden pattern. So to remove that wooden pattern, if it is vertical edges, vertical sides, or if they are straight, 90 degrees, like 90 degrees, then while removing, so there may be sand may fall into the cavity. So once you remove the pattern, the empty space will form, right? That is called cavity. So while removing this pattern, because of vertical edges, after removing that, there may be the sand will fall into the cavity. To avoid that, we provide vertical edges slightly inclined. So that is called draft. So it helps to remove very easily without falling sand. So draft is called tapering of vertical dimensions in a casting, and helps so in easily removal of pattern from mold, helps to easy removal of pattern from mold. So this actually, if the internal sides, internal vertical dimensions and external vertical dimensions. So in general, inclination is given, more inclination is given for internal vertical surface. More inclination is given for internal surface than the outside dimensions. So for example, in internal inclination is 5 to 8 degrees, and external surface inclination is 3 to 5. Outside dimension is 3 to 5 degrees. Internal inclination is 5 to 8 around. In case of course, the internal inclination is required actually. Why internal inclination is required? Core we will discuss anyway after this topic. Height is not changed, only vertical dimension, no change in vertical dimensions, only horizontal dimension changed. Due to draft allowance, only horizontal dimensions changed. Horizontal dimensions will change. There is no change in vertical dimensions. Here actually, for these all allowances are given for the pattern size, to calculate the pattern size. So pattern size, as we have discussed, shrinkage allowance and machining allowance, pattern size will increase because by considering all those allowance for most of the metals. So draft allowance, if you are using draft allowance also in that particular pattern, then you need to change only horizontal dimensions. There is no need to change in vertical dimensions. So because of inclination of vertical sides, only horizontal dimension will change. So if you suppose if the length is 50 to 54, which we had, or 55, now if you give draft of 1 3 degree or some 4 degree, depending upon the slope, then it will change accordingly. Only horizontal dimensions. So this draft allowance is not applicable for expendable patterns, or another case is disposable patterns. It is not applicable to expendable or disposable patterns. What is expendable or disposable patterns? Small expendable patterns. So a pattern is said to be expendable if we, instead of remove, suppose if we have a wood as a pattern, we will keep inside the sand mold and ram the mold and remove the wood out. So we need to remove the pattern if it is wood or metal. But in case of plastic, especially polystyrene, and in case of wax and in case of mercury, these three patterns you don't need to remove from the mold. You just suppose for example, if you consider the wax, heat the mold, so that entire wax will melt out, and you can till the mold, the wax, liquid wax will come out. So that's one advantage. That is why it is called disposable pattern. The pattern only used for only one purpose, only once. After that, you will remove it. Remove means it won't be breaking and removing the mold. You can heat and remove the mold. Even in case of polystyrene, especially as we have discussed in manufacturing of machine beds, so there again the same thing. So pattern, machine bed is a very huge surface, so if you want to remove that, it is very difficult to remove if you prepare manufacture with wood or metal. So we use polystyrene. Here in polystyrene, after preparation of a pattern, inside the mold, and then we heat the mold such that the polystyrene will evaporate, and in terms it comes out. So these are even mercury also. Mercury pattern is used only in space applications, as we have discussed. So where the negative degrees in temperatures is there. So for that, if you convert the positive temperature, you heat the temperature to positive degrees, it will become liquid, and we can take it out. So these are called expendable patterns. Example: polystyrene. This is 2 times gate baked. Wax and mercury. Gate 2000, sorry. Question number 19. GATE 2000 1 mark question. Disposable pattern are made of. Disposable pattern are made of